Hi, I'm Amber with Mindful Yoga and Art STL, outside in the beautiful Laumeier Sculpture Park today with beautiful artwork behind me. Thought I'd pretty up my set for you guys for this yoga class, which is focused on core and booty. So we'll do some different exercises. I know the sun is beautiful right now, but it is going down, and also my phone is low on battery, so we'll see where we get with this today. I'm going to start with a quote that I'll go ahead and put it on the screen here, but the quote is about strengthening the core can help our body, but operating from our core, from a place of center, from a place of purpose, that can move mountains. So I love this sculpture because it allows you to navigate within and go inside and see how strong it is, how the structure is. And I think of our core as kind of like that. It's something where we have to go within to find our core, and also literally and figuratively and physically we have to strengthen our core in many ways too to help support our spine. So hope you enjoyed today's class, and let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead, and we're going to start with our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and we're going to bend our knees here and just place our hands on our knees. So we're going to slowly stretch here by pressing through the right knee. So we're pressing our right hand into the right knee and just straightening out the shoulder, twisting off to the left side. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, coming into that bent knee position. Inhaling and exhaling, twisting off towards the right, straightening that left arm on the left hand on the left knee. Inhale, standing up. Exhale. Find your variation of any of these poses that I do today that feel comfortable for you. I give directions, but you're the expert of your body. We're going to do one more set of these. Typically, we'll do things in threes today. Awesome. And let's go ahead and inhale, reach up to the sky or to the ceiling, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, and exhale. Inhale, reach it up, and exhale. And inhale, just standing up. Inhale, last time we're going to clasp our hands in front of us, reach it up with our pointer fingers, and just bringing a slight back bend here. Exhale, hinge forward, point those fingertips forward. Inhale, reach it up, forward. Once again, 3 times. And forward. Inhale, reaching up, and then we're going to go ahead and just reach off to the right side of our mat. Exhale, inhale, exhale. So exhaling as we lean off to the left or the right. We're going to do 3 on each side with an inhale up in between. I think this is 3. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale. Take a moment with your hands in a prayer position, actually with your one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. So not only do we operate out of a place of core and strength, but operating out of our heart too today. So let's just have a moment of breath and mindfulness as you inhale, feeling your belly expand. As you exhale, feeling your belly sink in. Feeling your heartbeat. Maybe it's a little bit different than when we first started. Awesome. Let's go ahead and come to a position where we are in a tabletop position on our mats today. So tabletop position, we're going to come here with our knees underneath us, hands underneath our shoulders. So with core strength, I think plank and I think lots of movements, but we also are doing core and booty and glutes. So we're going to do a couple of movements here that are a little different than normal. But we're going to inhale here, hug that right knee in and underneath us, and exhale, kick it up, flex that foot. Inhale, hug it in, crunch those abs as you're hugging in. Knee is coming towards nose, nose is coming towards knee. And kick it up, flex that foot. Inhale and exhale. Keep the foot here, and then we're gonna lift 6 times here. Awesome. And hug that knee in and underneath you. Up, flex that foot. Do this 3 more times. Inhale, exhale. Pressing through the hands, pressing through, using your core. And then lifting that heel, using those glutes. Awesome. 6 times here. All right, knee comes down to the mat. Let's take that right knee out to the side and around. So there used to be this move called the fire hydrant where you lift up your leg off to the side. In my Buns of Steel video from 1990. But let's go ahead and lift that leg and then draw a circle with the knee off to the side. So 3 big circles here. Drop the knee. And let's do that on the left side. So we're lifting that left knee up and the left leg up. Big knee circles. Drop it down. And then we'll do those same other movements that we did on this side. So we're hugging that left knee in and underneath us, kicking that heel up towards the sky with a bent knee. Three times. And then from this position, lifting 6 times. 2, 3, 4, flat foot, 6. I went from 4 to 6. Okay, about 6 times. Hug that knee in and underneath you. kick that knee back behind you, flat foot. And 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, awesome. Let's do a couple of different planks here. So we're gonna do a side plank to start with, and then a couple of different planks, whatever you are able to do. So we're gonna hug that right knee in and underneath you once again. Right foot kicks all the way back behind you, straight line from the top of the head to the heel. Drop the inside of that right foot onto the mat, and right hand comes up towards the sky. So that bottom foot can kickstand out to the side just a little bit to help you. And you can lift that leg up from the ground if you so choose. Some people might be able to do this. Some people might be able to do this. And some people might be like, this is good. So let's take that knee back down to tabletop. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, ground that foot down, reach it up, side plank. Using the core, keeping your body stable. Inhale, exhale, drop it down, lift up those fingertips, side plank. Beautiful. Let's do it on the opposite side. So inhale with the left knee hugging in, exhale, left foot kicking back out, inside of the left foot grounding down, left fingertips coming up to the sky. Be playful, do whatever movements feels good for you here. Take it down, tabletop. Inhale, exhale, kick that left heel out behind you. Bring it up to a side plank. Engage the core, engage the glutes. Bring it down one last time. Inhale, exhale, side plank. Once again, it can be like this. No pressure. Today, do what you want. You're finding your core. All right. Let's come back down to that tabletop position. Coming down to our forearms here. We're going to step back with our right foot, step back with our left foot. So I like to stay low to start with. And we're going to plank here and slowly drop our hips to the right, drop our hips to the left and breathe. So you may come down to a laying locust position to rest. I completely approve of that, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But then tuck those toes behind you, lift it up, drop it to the side, drop it to the side. Come back to locust. And one last time, things in threes tonight. Inhale, lift it up, pressing through the forearms, using the core, dropping it to the right, dropping it to the left, right, left, and drop it down to locust. Awesome. Let's go ahead and come back up to tabletop position. Take our toes together and knees out to the side and come into a child's pose. So in child's pose, I'm going to do a little tucking here, excuse me. Always got some issues. Belly showing and underwear showing. All right, so in child's pose, we're going to reach it forward and take our head and neck down. We're going to be aware of our breath and also be aware of our glutes and our core. Three more breaths here. Feeling your belly expand and contract in between your legs. And coming up to that tabletop position. Let's spread our fingers wide, press our fingertips down into the mat underneath us, tuck our toes behind us, and lift our hips up and back. Downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to utilize our core here. And instead, you can always step forward with your hands in between your right and left hands. Step forward with your feet in between your hands. Or I'm going to challenge you today to bend those knees and lean forward into a forward fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky with the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach out wide to the side, fingertips come to the sky, and rest. So rest meaning coming into a mountain pose for a moment. All right, we're gonna go into a couple of different chair poses that challenge our core and our glutes as well, and the legs. And if you have a block, you can always use a block at this time. I like to set the block in between my knees, push my knees about underneath hip width apart. We're going to inhale here and exhale, sit back into an invisible chair. So you don't have to have the block, you can totally just sit back into that invisible chair. So squeezing the core, squeezing the glutes as you lift up. Inhale, crunch that core. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, whoops, and exhale. And that's 3. Let's go ahead and do 6 of these. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And let's take our legs out wide to the side. So we're gonna do a inhale here, exhale, take it out to a wide-legged chair. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, step it in, and exhale, step it out wide to the side over here. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, exhale, step it out wide. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, step it out. So almost stepping into what looks like a goddess pose. We're gonna play with this just a little bit more. Wide-legged chairs, squeezing the glutes in the middle. Some would say that these could be called squats. Yes, technically they are. And one last one. I lost count on that one. I think that was 6. All right. Working our core, working our glutes. We're gonna also do a couple of other poses here. So let's go ahead and go back down to that basic tabletop position. So coming back down to the earth on our hands and knees here. We're gonna work our way up to that downward dog and 2 other different positions that challenge our core and glutes. So from here, we're going to press into our hands, press into the tops of our feet, and lift our knees away from the earth. Squeezing our core here, utilizing our core. And drop it down. We're gonna do that 3 times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Awesome. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Let the head and neck hang loose here. Bend those knees and step it forward or leap it forward into a forward fold. That was a big leap for me. Forward fold here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Awesome. Inhale, we're gonna rise up to a mountain pose and step it forward. Take a break, take a breath. And then let's do 2 different balance poses that definitely utilize our core and our glutes. We're gonna hug. We're gonna start by spreading our toes out wide, getting as much surface area as we can, gripping the mat underneath us. Being aware and mindful of where your feet are grounding into the mat below you. And then slowly lifting up 1 leg at a time. I'm gonna find my balance here today. Inhale, hugging that right knee in and underneath you. We're gonna hug it in here and exhale, reach it forward. So we're gonna do a pendulum effect, and I'm gonna do it from the side because slight hill going that way. Inhale, hug that knee in underneath you, and exhale, reach it out. So squeezing the glutes forward, squeezing the core back. Okay, let's try that 3 times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. If you lose your balance, don't start over, but just reset. Inhale, and then exhale. You might be ahead of me. All right. We're gonna try that on the other side as well. So once again, ground down your feet. Feel that connection to the earth. Know that your core and your glutes are strong. Maybe they're shaking a little today, but they're gonna be stronger tomorrow. So inhale, hug that left knee in. Exhale, reach it forward, kick it back. Inhale, hug it in. Let me find my balance. Let me find a spot that's actually level. Okay, I found it. Inhale, hug it in. Exhale, reach it forward. Inhale, hug it in. Exhale, forward. Just like in the park, there's always sticks and things underneath you. So maybe you don't have that at your home, but if you're outside, you'll find those. All right, so one more little balance pose before we go down and do some core work down on the ground. So with this particular tree pose, a lot of people are familiar with, but a lot of people don't utilize the core as much as could be utilized in tree pose. So come to the tippy toe of your right foot, take your right knee out to the side, arms out to the side, or in a prayer position at your heart. Find a place where you can find some balance to start with. If you want to stay here, or take that foot to the inside of your calf. Utilizing your core, utilizing your ankle strength, and breathing and finding a spot on the ground to stare at. And taking it up even more if you can. If you fall out of that pose, start over. Or assist yourself to get back into that pose. If it's not happening today, take it down to level 1 or level 2, and that's okay. I'm rushing today. I feel rushed by the sun setting. I'm all flustered. And sometimes I lose my balance too. All right, let's take it off to the other side. So tippy toe on the left foot, left heel comes into the left ankle, hands still at a prayer pose. You can take the foot up to the inside of the calf or reach it to the inside of the thigh. Finding your balance. And utilizing your core, utilizing your ankle, lifting, having that line all the way from the earth to the top of the head. Awesome. All right, let's take it onto the ground for some core. I hope we're still recording, I'm not sure. Let me check. Ground. Let's go ahead and bring our knees in front of us, and we're going to come into a boat pose. So if you're not familiar with boat pose, we can start by pressing our hands into the mat on either side of our hips, lifting one knee into our body, kicking it out, dropping it, inhale, exhale, trying the opposite leg, and then inhaling and exhaling, trying both legs. If you want to, you can reach your hands up towards your feet, finding balance, finding shakiness, whatever you find, and trying it again. So we'll try this 3 times. So inhale, exhale, drop it down, inhale, and exhale. Awesome. We're going to lean it back now onto our forearms and onto our back. And we're going to slowly come into kind of a sit-up position where we alternate with our elbows. So hug your knees in here. Go ahead and take your hands and clasp them and support the back of your head. And then we're going to hug and crunch the right knee in. Opposite elbow reaches towards it. Left knee, opposite elbow. And let's just do about 10 of these. Awesome. Take a break, rest it up. Unclasp your hands from behind your head. Hug your knees in towards your body. Kick those legs up to the sky. You can use a towel or a strap to hold on to the tops of your feet here, if you so choose. But we're gonna slowly, maybe bracing our arms to the ground, we're gonna take our legs off to the right. Using our core, let our legs fall off to the left. Inhale, legs come up. 3 times, up. Inhale up, exhale off to the side. Inhale up, exhale off to the side, and inhale up. Oh yes, I feel it. High glutes, highs core. And then last but not least, doing a bridge pose before we go into a little bit of our final stretches in Shavasana. We're gonna press our hands into the earth, lift our hips, squeeze our glutes, and come into a bridge pose. There's different variations. You can walk your shoulders in, clasp your hands underneath your body here. You can set a block underneath your hips to rest your hips on. Go ahead and stay in a position if you feel comfortable, or do this 3 times. If wheel is in your practice, you can also do wheel pose. Awesome. Squeeze those glutes, relax those glutes, and slowly hug those knees in towards your body once again. And maybe windshield wiper them back and forth. We're gonna do a happy baby to stretch out those legs and relax our body. So reach down to the bottoms of the feet or clasp those index fingers around the big toes. Kick those legs off to the side as you roll back, right and left. Giving yourself a little back massage and happy baby. And slowly lower those legs to the ground. And coming into our final resting pose, let's go ahead and stretch up with our fingertips above our head and off the mat. Toes reach down. Big breath, big inhale, big exhale here. Open mouth sighs, make some noise. That's a lot. That's more core than I usually do. So we could have hit it harder, but I thought that was a good amount today. Take a deep breath here. Once again, placing your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart. Coming into your body, letting your body just rest after all of those good movements. Feeling the inhale expands your belly, exhale, belly button sinks in towards the spine. You can choose to continue just holding on to the belly and the heart or letting your hands fall off to the side for our final Shavasana. Take as long as you want in Shavasana today. You deserved it. You deserved it. You earned it. And you deserve it. You deserve the best. Letting your thoughts be settled and focused on your breath. Maybe there's a mantra or a saying that you repeat to yourself, such as, I am strong, I am centered at my core. When you're ready, coming back up to a seated position. I don't want to rush you, so please don't feel rushed. But definitely pause this video if you need a little bit longer. But I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I honor the strength of your core, the strength of your heart, the strength of you, the core of you. And thank you for watching my videos and practicing along with me. Bye now. Take care.